Welcome back to JCPod, partner with Stare Down Sports. Stare Down greatness. Wow. I know we're talking college football today, and we won't be talking really NFL till tomorrow, aka Tuesday, but wow, what a game last night between the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. I mean, I won't lie to you. I know we're going to only be talking college football today, but wow. There was some fun football this weekend. I just can't even put it to words. There's a lot of exciting football this weekend. We had some insane upsets. I'm looking at you, Army. We had some, we have another team too, as you can see by the title. But there's a lot of fun in college football this weekend. That's why I wanted to break it up into its own episode for a while now, because I feel like there's so many storylines I just missed when I give it like a 20-minute segment at the end of my NFL show. And then my NFL show, and that just feels cluttered. So, yeah. Today it's going to be simple. Today, if you weren't here last week, I'll run it down real quick. Today, all college football, we're just going to react to the games, what happened all there, talk top 25. Tomorrow, we'll react to the NFL, because then we'll have from Thursday through Sunday to react to. And then Wednesday will be what we do every Wednesday. Pickem, bets, predictions, whatever you want to call it. But I won't lie, I have a Monday Night Football article I need to place tonight, or give out tonight, which by the time this goes live, the article hopefully will be like in 20, 30 minutes behind it, because yeah, it's about game time, man. But like I said, we're already talking too much NFL today. We're going to talk college football. I mean, there were some amazing games, so let's run down the list. I mean, how's this going to go? I'm pretty much just going to read out the scores from the weekend. I'll go over if I caught the game, I'll talk about it. If not, I'll let it be, and I'll just kind of let it float. But overall, I'll try to give some thoughts on stuff I did see. Because let's be honest. Y'all know I didn't watch every single game. I know I didn't watch every single game. I was at least able to get eyes on scores. I was able to throw in podcasts that watch certain games, listen to how their opinions of it, kind of get my own opinions from their opinions, watch some videos of other games. I try to get as much in as I can. So that's going to be the fun for today. So yeah, let's start it off with the Friday night slate. And if you people could, I would love if you people could bear with me. I understand. College Orange Hill, this might be a little bit, all over the place the first couple weeks. But as the season goes on, and as I do this more and more, it'll get more regimented, just better overall, let's be honest. We're starting off, Louisville wins 28-14 over James Madison. This was a game I was tempted to bet on. Yeah, they played 3, technically. But no, this was a game where... Yeah, I just won't lie. I was interested in Louisville, ended up not taking them. They ended up covering, but I had no eyes in this game, so I can't give you a real opinion there. Maryland beats Northern Illinois 20-9. They improved to 2-0. We have their over 4.5 this year that I gave out, so... Nice that they at least started out the season 2-0, because they should start out the season 3-0 if they can handle Townsend next week. And then we're just looking for basically 2 wins across their whole schedule. My predictions are, now with how bad UCLA looks, I mean, the UCLA game's potentially 1. Wisconsin could be 1. Rutgers could probably be 1. So there's 3. Michigan State maybe at the end of the year. So there's 4 games where, okay, like I said, we're going to assume they beat Townsend. 4 games we're looking for 2 wins. So they've at least been doing business there. But I don't like that. Another team I'm just really not sure what to. I mean, they're middle of the pack, but I don't think they're totally bottom of the barrel. Northwestern 42-7 win over Western Illinois. Preston Stone, I'm assuming he did start. He went 21 for 29, 245, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know. I mean, of course, against Western Illinois, he looks really, really good. But if you remember last week against, decent competition, Preston Stone looked horrible. So, and now they're going to Oregon next week. Oregon is coming to Northwestern. It is a 27.5 point spread. I mean, if Preston Stone plays the whole game, this could get, really, really ugly. Especially because we'll talk about Oregon in a minute. Oh, my God, man. Somebody called the ambulance. Boise State wins 51-14. They bounced back after the loss last week. Good win for them against Eastern Washington, which is a game they needed to win. The first funny one to bring up of the day, Syracuse. They went 27-20. They end up scoring 21-3, and they end up outscoring UConn 21-3 in the second half. And yeah, it was pretty funny, honestly, what ended up happening at the end of the game. For those of you who didn't see, at the end of the game, After Syracuse won, they didn't apparently win by enough or win the way that Fran Brown liked them to. They ended up running sprints. Now he ended up coming out afterwards saying, I need to make men of these. These guys will eventually be fathers, brothers. I think he went on this whole basically like, not a rant, but basically talked about like, hey, there's a reason I'm doing this. I got to get these boys ready. And all that, which, I mean, don't get me wrong. When you hear it, it's like, okay, so that actually makes like legitimate sense. He is trying to like instill some like, hey, don't be complacent, all that stuff. But then you just see it in practice. And I'm not talking like actual practice. I'm talking like put it in the practice as in like you see it actually happen in real life and you see Syracuse running at the end of their game after a win. I'm sure there's a lot of players who are not very thrilled about that, but Syracuse is able to get the win 27-20. I mean, jeez, man. The fact that the last two games Syracuse has played now it's kind of like, okay, so we gotta change how we look at you a little bit. So, I mean, they weren't projected to have the best of years, but man, this upcoming year could end up being pretty bad for them. I don't think it'll go that far, but we'll see. By the way, I have a lot of games that I starred, as in like I was keeping up with scores I was watching throughout the weekend. So if you're wondering why the time's so off for some of these, like we're gonna talk about some noon games and some 3 o'clock, then some 7 o'clocks, bounce back to noon. That is why. So yeah, we talked about that one. Baylor, SMU, I mean, wow. Sawyer Robinson, you want to talk about having a game. 34-50, 440 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. And Kevin Jennings on the other side, 16 for 22, 295, 3 touchdowns. I mean, rushing-wise, I'm pretty sure Kevin Jennings had a decent day as well. He had 14 for 16, so I think the sacks actually screwed it up because I thought that was a lot better before when I looked. I don't know. I'm going to have to see how many times he got sacked because, yeah, I thought he had a way better rushing line than that. But, I mean, this was a really fun back-and-forth game. Very awesome that Baylor was able to come back to win this, basically, because, yeah, this could have got really bad for, is it Dave Aranda? I believe is their coach's name. It could have got really bad for the Baylor head coach if he lost this game. Just because it's one of those things where he's already kind of on the hot seat-ish to come into the season. But if you go started 0-2, then it's like, okay. There's probably a good chance you might be getting fired at the end of the season, especially when, like I said, it was coming into the season. There's a lot of people who were upset with the Baylor coach itself, but Baylor, like I said, that was a massive win for them against 17th ranked SMU. I forget how far they fell in the top 25, so we're gonna have to. They might have even fallen out potentially, so we're gonna have to double check on that. But I mean, this was just a fun game. I mean, Baylor puts up 21 in the second after, so it's 21-24 going in the half, and then you get 17-14 score in third and fourth quarter, 10-7 in overtime. I mean, this was just a good back and forth entering. Like this was a game, I'll admit. By the way, 31 carry. I mean, you threw for 50 attempts. Your quarterback threw 50 attempts. And you rushed the ball for 31 times. I mean, that's a lot of offense, boy. I'll admit this is a game I wish I got my eyes on. I did not watch this game at noon. I was watching Cyhawk Bowl, Illinois game. And then there was another third game. I can't remember what it was, but I had like 3 games in rotation. I think it might have been Indiana, Kennesaw, and I might even had a fourth. I think there was 4 games I basically had in rotation I was watching. Every time I kept seeing the score of this one too, it's like, I should get into it. We'll wait. And then, we're fine. And then end up coming towards the end. Oh shit, that was a really good game. Now I'm pissed I didn't watch it. Because like I said, that was an awesome game. Jacksonville State, they win 34-24 for Liberty. I just think that's a massive win for Jacksonville State. I'm assuming that a lot of people did not have Jacksonville State winning this game. Liberty opened up as 5.5-point favorites on the road, and they ended up losing by 10. That could be a massive loss for Liberty. That's a good win for Jacksonville State. I don't think that changes their season too much based on what expectations were and everything. For Liberty, that's, I think, a loss where it's like, oh, so you might not be. I mean, it's not a conference game, so it shouldn't matter too much, but it's just still not a good loss to have. And I don't even know if that is out of conference. Is Liberty in Conference USA? I can't remember for whatever reason. But if they are, then this is even worse of a loss. Oh shit! This is a conference game. I forgot they were in CUSA. That's a bad loss, man. That's a very hurtful loss for Liberty, who now is about the bottom of the. I mean, to be fair, nobody's really played any conference games yet, but that's a That's a tough one to lose. Very, very, very tough game to lose. This is going to be one where I'm assuming we're going to look back at the end of the year, and if Liberty's not in the top, 2 or 3 teams in the conversation, we're going to look back and be like, oh, man, that loss to Jacksonville State is probably what did them in. Like I said, that could have, maybe I could be over-evaluating Liberty for what I've seen in year past, but that's just one where it's like, I expect them to win that one. The fact they didn't is kind of like, oh, well, that's kind of an issue. Something I just remember now, which is, of course, awesome. I wasn't going to go over my betting record, so I'll just talk about kind of the bets as we go through them a little bit. You like normally on most shows how this will go in the future. Like I'll talk today, I'll interrupt real quick in the middle of it, talk about it, but I'll try to talk about it quickly at the beginning. Like, hey, we went this and this. This was the wins. This was the losses, and then as we go through like the actual games themselves, I'll go over like the mental, like, hey, this is what I was thinking here while watching the game. This is what I was watching, and this is my reaction like to it basically. So like I'll give out record, kind of talk about it, and then as we get to the game, probably go into it like a little bit more. But I think week 2 we went. I think it was ended up being a rough week. Won't lie. I think it was 2 and 3. Nasty Boy misses by 2 points on the over in the UCLA UNLV game. Fuck. I mean, that's 3 weeks in a row we've missed by 1 leg. Last week Indiana just didn't cover. Week 1 we missed by 2 points on an over. Week 2 we missed by week 0 we missed by 2 points on an over. Week 2 we missed by 2 points on an over. Damn, man. We even got Kent State to cover 48.5, which will be the next game we talked about. Yeah, basically we got the thing that made this game awesome. We got 14 garbage time points in the fourth quarter, which helped with the cover because, yeah, this was one of those good old games. Like, hey, you start off with a 48-point lead, and when they're up 55-0, you're like, why did I even... I don't lie. I'm like, why did I throw this in the Nasty Boy, man? Like, should have just stayed away from this nasty shit. They end up covering, so it worked out in that game, but like I said, end up not mattering. Virginia, they lose 31-35 to North Carolina State, but it's awesome to see them actually have some offense because offense has kind of been their issue the last couple of years, and yeah, like I said, it's just nice to see them have offense. I mean, the quarterback's 30-43, 257. Not the best performance, but Chandler Morris definitely seems like he can be at least okay. Good, kind of okay day by C.J. Bailey. I mean, 16 for 23 for 200 yards with a running back. Hollywood Smothers, 17 for 140. That boy was toting that shit on the ground, averaging 8.2 a carry. Absolutely insane. So, yeah, they were just running all over him. So, 17 for 150 on the other end for Jamari Taylor. So, them boys was running. We had some fun offense in that game. Yet again, another game I wish I got my eyes on, did not. But it ended up being a fun game. Indiana destroys Kennesaw 56-9. I mean, it was 21-6 first half, and then Indiana really just put it on them to, they opened up, and Kennesaw opened up the third quarter. They got a field goal, and then Indiana just put it on them to end it. That was more the performance I wanted to see against Old Dominion. Didn't really happen, but like I said, they eventually just put Kennesaw away and were able to do it. Now they play Indiana State next week, which I'm excited to see a line for that because maybe it's just another one of those, hey, let's just take them to just kind of hammer this team late and pull out ahead. But like I said, we'll see when it comes to that point. That's like 2 weeks from now. Not 2 days from now, excuse me. But yeah, that good win for Indiana. They improved to 2-0. Kennesaw goes 0-2. Iowa State, they are improved to 3-0 after they won 16-13 against Iowa. Not the best offensive performance these last couple games from Iowa State, so you wonder if there's a little hangover from wonder if there's a little bit of hangover from Ireland. I couldn't think of it. You wonder if there's a little bit of hangover. You wonder if it's just, I don't know, but I mean, when they needed it, Rocco Beck was able to perform. I mean, 18 for 27. He only had 134, but like I said, when they needed it, he was able to put it through. I mean, this was just a very good defensive battle game where I would say ends up just pulling away. I ended up switching away from this game from a bit, I'll admit, just because I could see how I was going. So I was like, let me peek at some of these other games. Well, this just seems like a defensive stalemate. So I didn't watch the end of it, total ending of it. I just saw, I think the last drive. But great win for Iowa State, who, like I said, improves to 3-0. And, yeah, I mean, this was them winning out of Ireland seems massive, but they could really use a bye week, it seems like. They don't get a bye week until, I think it's after. Okay, so, yeah, they play Arkansas State, then they get a bye week. So I'm not going to lie, we're going to have to look at the spread for Arkansas State. I don't know if I'm going to take I don't know. These last few games have been close. I mean, they beat South Dakota State 55-7. Who am I kidding? And they look decent. But I think they're just... So I might take the spread against Arkansas State. Like I said, they get a bye there, and I'm sure they're really looking forward to that bye. And that's just a sad, tough loss for Iowa, who now, like I said, 1-1. I just don't know what to make of this Iowa team at this point. I mean, it feels like it's the same Iowa team year in, year out. I mean, Gronowski was 13 for 24 for 83 yards and an interception. Is it him? Is it just having no receivers? I don't know. I don't know what to make of this offense at this point, but it is stinky. Illinois went 45-19. I mean, this was a close game for a bit, and then Duke just kept turning the ball over, kept turning the ball over, kept turning the ball over. They had two guys with the same jersey on, which is just like an idiotic penalty to get, especially because like it's just I get it. You have 110 guys on the roster, but it's just a rule I think is so dumb. It's like, why do we let two guys like two guys who consistently play wear like what the same number, like for number one for example, because you run into this. Now, most teams are able to handle it. They don't run into this. When it happens, it happens. And, like, in this game, there was a fourth down that Illinois had. Duke had two guys with the same number on. So, what happens? Illinois gets a free first down, and guess what? Scored a touchdown that drive. So, yeah, it was just... There were some dumb, idiotic mistakes by Duke. They had a lot of turnovers, which just did not help them out at all. And now I think Duke heads in next week going in against Tulane, so it's a return game for... revenge game for Darian Mensah, but... Like I said, a lot of people going around saying, like, well, Duke had them if just this, and this didn't happen. It really, I mean, take away a lot of stuff. Iowa still beats them decently handedly. Woo! Words. You can read on the shirt. We ain't biased. They just trash. Duke was just trash that day. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. They just played like trash. Like I said, interceptions by Mensah. There was fumbles. I mean, it was just not good play offensively, but... And then Duke shut them out in the fourth quarter. Illinois shut them out in the fourth quarter and was able to put up what they did. Not a whole, like I said, Mensah was 23 for 34 for 334, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Like, he didn't have a horrible game. Luke Altmaier, 296, 3 touchdowns on 22 completions, 31 passing attempts. Good. I mean, the quarterbacks were both playing decent. I mean, Illinois was struggling to get stops for a little bit. Like, there would be times where Duke was driving down the field. Then it would just be like a clutch stop by Illinois to get it. Or, like, Illinois turnover, they were able to do something. Clutch 2 plays in a row, they get a 3 and out. Like, other than that, though, Duke was driving decently. It was just Mensah made a mistake, there was a fumble, or a drive just got killed so many times when it looked like, all right, Duke's about to answer back, and the drive's over. All right. It was like that, almost like that South Park clip with the guy in the bank with the money. He's like, and it's gone. That's basically like how Duke's drives were going. It was driving well. It's like, all right, they're about to do something, and they turned over the ball again. All right. But that was a massive win for Illinois. Like I said, they just beat the shit out of them in a game that a lot of Illinois fans were actually scared of. Texas A&M, they win 42-22 against Utah State. Wake Forest wins 42-10 against West Carolina. The only reason I want to bring this game up is because Wake is like really supposedly going to be like really, really bad this year, and NC State somehow only 7-point favorites against them, which I don't totally understand. I definitely think that line's going to move, so I would jump on it now. Hint, hint, that's going to be a bet I give out on Wednesday. So I would. It's a Thursday game. I just don't get. I think it's just a fishy line. I don't get why it's 7. Wake's, I think, decent. Like, going to be bad this year. So, and they could be like really, really bad, especially if you saw what happened with the Kennesaw State game, where they were they could have lost that. So I think I'm going to go like to NC State in that game when it comes to it, but just want to give that out now in case the line starts moving. Old Miss, they win 30-23. They were able to dominate most of the second half. And then there was a field goal with 13 seconds left that basically killed the spread for a lot of us, including me, who gave it out. Very, very frustrating. I mean, with 13 seconds left to go, they give up a field goal. Not much you can do there. It was a very defensive battle in the second half. What was that, 13? Ole Miss scored 13, but, I mean, they put up a lot of their points in the second quarter. Kentucky still struggled on offense with Calzada at quarterback. I don't know what to fully make of him, but he's not the greatest. Apparently, Austin Simmons is kind of banged up, so we're going to see what happens with him, but it's an ankle injury, and as of right now, I have no idea if he's going to be held out or not. 69-3, Oregon destroys Oklahoma State. I mean, this was just a drumming, and apparently, at the beginning of the game when they were doing handshakes, you could just see that look, and this is what I heard from a show I listened to. They were talking about how you could just see that look in Dan Lanning's eyes, that he's gonna run that thing up a little bit. They end up, I won't lie to you, I looked to bet the Oregon game because I think it was the Illinois game won. So I'm like, oh, you know what, let me actually take Oregon. I wanted to give them out, didn't end up doing it. I'm like, let me take them. Saw the spread move to 35.5. I'm like, damn, it got bet up that much? And I'm like, oh no, the game started. Looked up, it's already 14-0, like 3 minutes in. It's like, oh, okay. This is going to be one of them games. What's crazy is 35.5 would have covered with ease. I mean, you got to wonder what's going to happen with Mike Gundy at this point. I don't know if the locker room's tuned out. I don't know anything about the situation. But there's just a lot that's not been good. I mean, last year was really, really bad for him. Now they're starting off the year with a loss like this. I mean, that's a real... they're a Big 12 team. They aren't just some FCS, small-time FBS team. I mean, this is a... They're supposed to be a decently big... I mean, they were just a really good Big 12 team a couple years ago, and now they're 2 years ago, and now they're losing 69-3. I mean, it's tough, man. I just don't know what to expect from that team at this point. Clemson, they won 27-16 against Troy. I mean, it was really, really scary at first, and they were able to turn it around. Shout out Goose Crowder, by the way. What a name. 19 for 31, 223. He had 3 interceptions, though. Yikes for Troy. But, yeah, Kay Klubnik had a bad pick 6, and then you're starting to wonder, okay, is this really going to happen? I'll admit, I saw Clemson at 4.5. Mad I didn't jump on it, but the game was going that bad where it's I'm just good sitting this one out because I have no idea, man. And sure enough, Clemson's able to come back. They end up handling business. You got to think potentially this was just an overlook game because they are playing Georgia Tech next week, and this is going to be a massive, massive game for Clemson. So there might be a little bit of a look-ahead factor, but yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what Clemson put this week. I'm not going to look too much into it. It was just a bad. I mean, like I said, there's a chance they were just looking ahead to Georgia Tech, so I'm going to kind of chalk it up to that slightly, but it's at least concerning a little bit. And their run game also still wondering what's totally going on with that. I mean, 21 for 112 isn't horrible in this game, but you can't complain about it too much, but is it going to show up when you need it? Sorry, I was trying to look over and see if anybody else had anything, because, another game. I didn't see the end of checking the stats on at the end. Missouri wins 42-31. Really wish I watched this game. Kansas went up 21-6, and then Missouri, apparently from what it looked like, from what I heard, Missouri looked like they were going to win the whole way, but it looked like Missouri was going to, especially from what I understand, the best way to put this is Missouri basically dominated them after going down 21-6. But it looked like it was still going to be a fun game regardless, and that's why I'm kind of mad I missed it. Tough loss for Kansas after going up that early. It kind of looks like they blew their load a little bit early. Missouri's just able to settle in. It seems like Bo Perbula might be a guy. There's going to be a QB battle for... I mean, he was 30 for 39, 334, 3 touchdowns. There was supposed to be a QB battle down there, and I think that has long been forgotten about. I think it's Bo's team unless he gets hurt, especially with the last 2 games he's put forward. It's been really good. Colorado wins 31-7 against Delaware. Ohio beats West Virginia 17-10. Want to bring up this game because this was a bad loss. And I'm going to lie to you. Now I'm very nervous about this West Virginia over 5.5 because, Nico Marcoli he looked horrible. There was nothing good about and I don't want to totally blame him because it's a whole team thing as well, but it just, I don't know. It was just a frustrating loss for West Virginia for sure. Now they're going into the backyard brawl. I mean, it's going to be a massive game, but I just don't trust their quarterback at all at this point. And I don't know if it's a mix of the wide receivers aren't the greatest. I mean, Jaheim White went out early in that game too, and that basically all but settled it in. I mean, they basically had no threat of running the ball once Jaheim White went out, which really, really sucks. I actually want to know if they've announced anything with him real quick. Let me look that up. But, once he went out, it's one of those games once he went out, it's oh, okay, yep. Let's see. So, yeah, I want to look up, they also just announced that apparently game day is going to Tennessee versus Georgia. Not going to USF Miami, though. Kind of upset about that. That would have been a fun little one to go to, but, Georgia Tennessee is not going to be bad. I don't think. But yeah, let me look up what happened to Jaheim White, see if they have anything for him. And this came out 12 minutes ago. So apparently Jaheim White is expected to miss the rest of the season with a knee injury he suffered in Ohio, and this was from CBS Sports. That's a devastating loss. That is actually a devastating loss for West Virginia. He was going to be... he was awesome for them. Worst part too is it was a horse collar and a face mask in the same play, basically. I believe. I'm not 100% sure on the face mask part, but for sure it was a horse collar tackle that got penalized. But there's a reason they're taking him out of the game, and I'm kind of like, I won't lie to you. Before I was just kind of like, hey man, it's not like they do it intentionally. Why blah blah blah, all that jazz. But now I'm looking into it more. It's like, okay, I understand a little bit more now because yeah, like watching the way he like fell to the ground, he was tackled. It's just like, man, that just doesn't look right. So I kind of get it now, but sad, man. It's just really, really sad for Team White because, yeah, that changes everything for West Virginia now. Now one of their other running backs really needs to step up, and I mean, Team White had 6 rushes for 40 yards. This is the rest of the running back room. 2 for 18, 11 for 9, 3 for 4, 4 for 2. I mean, there was just no threat at all. So that's like my biggest fear is like West Virginia might have lost like their biggest weapon for the year, and yeah. Maybe, and this sucks, is now it's like, all right, a team next year, they might be nice. The team this year, man, I don't know really. But hey, we got some back-to-back games to talk about. I didn't watch this game, which really pisses me the hell off that I ended up not watching it. But USF beats Florida. They went 18-16. Awesome game, absolutely awesome game. I ended up watching some of it back. I haven't watched the full game back, I'll admit, but. Just malpractice by Billy Napier this is another one of those coaches like, man, Billy Napier might have coached his last game. Not this early season. I'm being a little bit dramatic, but this has to be his last year, right? There's no way they keep him again, especially after a loss like this. Like, this is a game they were 17.5-point favorites. You got to win this game. Like, I understand hey, USF might be good. I mean, they're a team we need to watch out for now. They can win the American. This is a college football playoff team with a win like this. So this is USF. All eyes are on them. Congrats to them. That's an awesome, awesome win. That's a win where it's like I said. I mean, that's a college football playoff win early in the season if they can get it. That might just earn them the ticket if they can control their own destiny and keep shit moving forward correctly. But yeah, for Florida and Billy Napier, I mean, man, it's tough. You just look. I mean, they should have won this game, and they don't. So now you look at it, and it's like I said. I'm very curious about the future of Florida. Now, now their schedule is just a bunch of cupcakes. You got LSU, Miami, Texas, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Georgia, all upcoming. I mean, damn, you go from looking like this might be a magical year for them. They lose to USF, and now it's like, okay, what is going to happen? Is the bottom going to fall with this team, or are they going to be able to bounce back? Army upsets Kansas State. Kansas State's now 1-2. Shout out to Army. Massive, massive win for Army. I did not expect them to win this game at all. Kansas State was 16.5-point favorites. They lose this outright. I am very concerned about Avery Johnson. He was 15-25 for 172, but you just think he'd play a little bit better. It's just like it wasn't a horrible game, but you just thought he'd play a little bit better. The fact they lose at home to an Army team without Bryson Daly this year too, not the best of looks, man. It's starting to get scary. The sirens are definitely going off for Kansas State. And it's really looking like you lose in Ireland, like your season just falls to hell for a little bit. They at least get a bye, it looks like, as well after this Arizona game upcoming, and they really need that bye just like almost mentally reset. It just seems shit don't seem right. That's the best way to put it. Purdue beats Southern Illinois 34-17. Don't got anything on that game. Michigan loses to Oklahoma 24-13. Mateer looks like he's a stud. We'll talk Heisman odds at the end. He looked good. Justin Saints 90 for 125 and a touchdown. Bryce Underwood didn't look too horrible. Not the best. I mean, it was just awesome win for awesome win for Oklahoma. Can't be too mad that Michigan lost. I mean, that was just more of like great. I'd look at that more as like great win by Oklahoma than a bad loss by Michigan. I just think that Oklahoma proved something, and they might be legit this year, especially with this Mateer kid playing so well. Now Michigan loses Sharon Moore for 2 weeks because of the suspension, so it's going to be an interesting watch for the next 2 weeks for them. And then for Oklahoma, they just got to keep it up. North Carolina wins 20-3 over Charlotte. You would wish that score would be a little bit bigger, but they might not be able to run the football. That's from what I'm seeing. Arizona State loses 24-20 Mississippi State. I'll admit, really didn't watch this game, but Mississippi State came out 17, I think, nothing lead and almost blew it, but were able to. Basically, the game came down to how it came down in Texas last year. Arizona State's blitz. Blitz doesn't get home. Mississippi State scores a touchdown. That basically seals the game there, but can't knock them for not trying, but it's like, damn. That sucks for them. Vanderbilt wins 44-20 over Virginia Tech, handles business. UCLA, UNLV. UNLV wins 30-23 over UCLA, which closing odds were UCLA as a favorite, which is, damn. 0-2 for them. Like I said, over didn't hit in this game, but starting to wonder about UCLA now. Apparently their offensive line is some big booty butt trash, so that could be a real issue. Nico hasn't been horrible, but apparently the offensive line is like pretty bad, and obviously their defense isn't the best either. BYU wins 27-3 over Stanford, handle business. Minnesota blows out their opponent. Penn State with a massive win. Texas with a massive win. Florida State, massive win. Pitt wins 45-17 over Central Michigan. Temple, massive win over Howard. Georgia beats Austin, PA, 28-6. Not looking into it that too much. They play Tennessee next week. Like I said, not looking at too much. New Mexico wins 32-22 against Idaho State. Georgia Tech wins massive. UMass loses to Bryant, who I believe... I think that was their first FCS win of their ever for them, and I think it was first one of the season. But yeah, horrible loss for UMass there, because I think they lost to Bryant in both. I think it was soccer and football, so tough loss to an FCS team there. Fresno State handles Oregon State 36-27. Rutgers blows out Miami of Ohio. Texas State beats UTSA, makes me mad. Almost wanted to. I wish I took the Texas State money line over in the UCLA game. That's the one I'm going to be looking back on for a while. Like, man, why did I not flip that BS? Really wish I did. Ohio State handles business there against Grambling. Western Michigan loses to North Texas in overtime. Bowling Green loses to Cincinnati by 14. Navy beats UAB. Buffalo beats St. Francis B. And as you can tell, a lot of these games were past the games like I at least had eyes on, so I'm just reading out a lot of scores because I didn't get a chance to watch these games, really. Buffalo beats St. Francis. Appalachian State wins against Lindenwood. Tennessee beats East Tennessee State. Wisconsin beats Middle Tennessee. Wyoming beats Northern Iowa. Arkansas handles Arkansas State. Nevada beats Sacramento State by 3. East Carolina handles business. Marshall handles business. Utah beats Cal Poly. A lot of these are just Miami handles their business against Bethune-Cookman. Houston beats Rice 35-9. Memphis beats Georgia State 38-16. Western Kentucky, wow. I mean, that game, don't let the score fool you. That game was, 45-7 going into the fourth quarter. And it's like, wow. That really sucks. Won't lie to you. There's like 3 games I wanted to bet on that I ended up not betting, even though I gave it out. So I'm like, let me throw it into its slip. So I forget what it was, but it was something, North Carolina. It was North Carolina spread, something else, and then this game, and Western Kentucky was getting beat so bad. It's like, well, now this ain't hitting. Damn. I think it was like 40 to win like 300 basically on a little quick 3-leg that I thought was going to be cash money, but Western Kentucky got that ass beat by Toledo. And Toledo might be legit this year, the way they've been playing so far. So that's a team I'm going to be interested to keep an eye on in the MAC. Coastal Carolina beats Charleston Southern. LSU wins 23-7 against Louisiana Tech. Alabama handles business. South Carolina beats South Carolina State. And Hawaii beats Sam Houston. Washington State beats San Diego State. Will be the last game I bring up. Is New Mexico State beats Tulsa 21-14. Like I said, let's look at the AP top 25 now. You got Ohio State number 1. We'll look at the AP top 25 first, discuss it a little bit. And then we will move on to the Heisman odds, college football playoff odds to end it, and just kind of give thoughts on that. Ohio State's number 1. Penn State's 2, LSU's 3, Oregon's 4, Miami's 5, Georgia's 6, Texas 7, Notre Dame 8, Illinois 9, awesome for them, Florida State 10, South Carolina 11, Clemson 12, Oklahoma 13, Iowa State 14, Tennessee 15, A&M, Texas 16, I don't know why I said it like that, Ole Miss 17, South Florida coming in at 18, Alabama 19, 20 Utah, 21 Texas Tech, 22 Indiana, 23 Michigan, Auburn 24 wasn't ranked, Missouri 25 wasn't ranked. Obviously, Florida dropped out after losing to. Actually, was Florida even in the AP? Let me see who dropped out real quick. Just so I can get it exactly right. Florida, Michigan, and SMU. Oh, no, Michigan didn't drop out of the top 25. They're still in it. Stupid ass AI. All right, let me... I just wish they would show you, like, it used to be so simple to find where they just show you, like, hey, like, maybe, there we go. Here it is. I was on the wrong... Nope, this doesn't show you either. They used to just show you, like, hey, these were the teams who dropped out. But, yeah. So, like I said, there's some movement. Oregon moves up 2 spots. Florida State moving up 4 is a pretty decent mover. Illinois moved up 2 into the top 10. Tennessee moved up 7. Utah moved up 5. Michigan dropped 8. Clemson dropped 4. Those were the 2 biggest droppers. Some other people say the same, moved around a little bit. But, yeah, that's your AP top 25. Very curious to see. There's not too many crazy, I think, ranked matchups next week. So I'm curious to see. I mean, there wasn't too many ranked matchups this weekend. Just some ranked teams lost. So this really does seem like it's going to be one of them college years where it's like, okay, hey, it might be wide open. And you know why it might be wide open? Because, I mean, if you look at the betting odds on these markets, Moneyline Mateer, John Mateer himself, is your favorite for Heisman now all of a sudden after a great game. I mean, so this is one of those years where it's like if you can find the Heisman early, you might be able to get some decent odds. But now it's moved a little bit. Now Garrett Nussmeyer's back to the favorite 900. Now Carson Beck and John Mateer are tied at 1,000. Dante Moore at 1,100. Arch at 1,300. Gunnar Stockton at 1,400. Lenore Sellers 1,800. Drew Aller 1,800. Jeremiah Smith 1,800. Devin Dampier 1,800. And then the last 4 I'll read out 2,000 or 3. Cade Klubnik, Jackson Arnold, Julian Sayin. Thomas Castellanos at 25-1 might be one I would sprinkle money on if I was going to bet it. For sure would sprinkle a little bit on Devin Dampier. I don't expect that one, but I just like the odds. I don't know, man. This Heisman's wide open. I liked it a little bit last year where it's Genty and Hunter because it's kind of like, yeah, those were 2 easy ones. It's not, and I'm very curious to see how Jeremiah Love will bounce back. I want to see where he's at right now. I don't even think he's on the... Yeah, he's at plus 5,000. I would be interested. I'm for sure going to sprinkle that one a little bit. I feel like he's definitely going to bounce back a little bit. But, I mean, as of right now, this is a quarterback award, it seems. And if you look at the win national championship right now, Ohio State's plus 550, Penn State plus 650, and then you got Georgia 700, Texas 700. Then you get LSU, Oregon at plus 1,000. Notre Dame plus 1,400, Alabama plus 1,600, then Clemson is the first one in the plus 2,200s. So you just look at that. I mean, everything is just wide open right now in college football, and there's not a team that's really pulled themselves truly ahead yet. I would guess if I had to pick someone, as right now, probably Ohio State, just because of the roster, and they have arguably the best player in college football, and Jeremiah Smith. So that'd be my selection there, but I'm not sold on that. I definitely think there could be some other teams that could potentially steal it from them. That's the fun part about this. We'll just have to see and watch, but thank you all for watching. Thanks for support. I really do appreciate it. That's going to do it for the first college episode of the season. I'm excited to do a lot more of these. Like I said, it's going to change around a little bit. I'm for sure going to recap a lot of the games, especially the ones I got eyes on, and then talk scores. And then we'll probably peek at the Heisman odds every time, peek at college football playoff odds. And then if I have leaned in some bets ahead of time, I'll talk about them a little bit more at the end too. I haven't looked too far ahead this week yet, so because I still have to finish the Monday Night article, like I said, so I'm going to do that. But like I said, this is going to be a fun little part where I just occasionally I'll dive in a little bit, talk college football on Mondays, because like I said, the men's league will be tomorrow. Really can't wait to talk about that. Man, there were some really fun games there. But that'll be tomorrow. We're going to talk the men's league, and then Wednesday we're back for Pickem. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for support. I'll see everyone back in this feed tomorrow for some good old-fashioned NFL football talk.